Hello and good day, Mike Adcock here with an update on Tropical Storm Jebi, Philippine name Jolina in the Western Pacific. This brief is based on the 9 Zulu JMA advisory package on the 31st of July 2013. Take a look at Tropical Storm Jebi. At 9 Zulu, it was located about 625 kilometers west of Manila. It's continuing to move west at 6 knots, winds 35 knots, gusting to 50. And our pressure is down to 998 hectopascal. Not tracking any tropical watches or warnings at this time. Of course, keep advised by your local meteorological agency for the latest information. The JMA surface analysis here shows Jebi just to the west of the Philippines, and it is long-term projected to move off toward the northwest. Matter of fact, looking at the track forecast, here's the official Japanese Meteorological Agency forecast track, continuing in a northwesterly fashion, affecting or making landfall rather in Hainan Province in southern China, and then eventually moving on into northern Vietnam. And that's pretty much the consensus with all the other regional agencies. Here's Hong Kong Observatory's forecast. Again, northwesterly, making landfall in Hainan before eventual landfall in Vietnam. Here's the last track that Pagasa is going to issue on, local name Jolina. Again, northwesterly flow there. The main concern that we're seeing here, here's Korea's analysis on it, or forecast on it, is that Hainan Province, northern Vietnam, they've been dealing with tropical cyclones, albeit weak, all this month. This would be, I believe, the third tropical cyclone to hit this part of the the continent in the month of July. So awful amount of rainfall in the area. That's going to be a challenge. Continued flooding threat. Not so much in terms of winds. I mean, there's going to be breezy conditions, and you can see here in the JTWC forecast, really looking at this thing to top off about 45 knots or so. Basically keeping it tropical storm strength. Don't anticipate it becoming a severe tropical cyclone, or severe tropical storm rather. This is really going to be, again, heavy rains over already saturated land. As you can guess, the model tracks continue it in this northwesterly fashion. No big surprise there. In terms of intensity, not seeing much there. Again, floating around the depression, storm strength. As you saw there, JTWC still calling it a tropical depression, and it's right there on the edge. Speaking of in terms of initial intensity, the discrepancies there is based off the Dvorak analyses. Data T's are around 1.52. Once you get the model runs into it, the patterns, final T's are again 1.5 through JTWC, and then a full 2.0 from JMA and the National Weather Service. The advanced Dvorak technique's awfully high there, I think, with the 2.9. That would equate to about 43 knots. I'm not seeing it. Dvorak right now, just looking at about a 3/10 wrap on the log 10 spiral. So again, that would equate to about a 2.0 or possibly a 1.5. Taking a look at OSCAT though, I concur with JMA's calling it a tropical storm. You do see some tropical storm force winds, mainly in the northeastern part of the storm. There are some winds, although isolated, south of the center of circulation, but there are some tropical storm force winds out there as indicated by microwave imagery. At least in the long-term forecast, or over the next couple of days, water temperatures won't be an issue. They're still sitting about 28-29 degrees Celsius, so no concerns there. So taking a look at the upper air, 200 hectopascal. Here is water vapor imagery of Jebi, being affected by a ridge that's tracking over toward them. Not really seeing anything in terms of shear. Winds are very, very light. seeing generally 5 to 10 knots, so some 15 knotters up here in the northwestern South China Sea. You really don't see significant winds until you get further south, especially towards the tropical easterly jet. 500 hectopascal flexion of our cyclone here. Again, pretty light winds, just continuing, in terms of the steering flow toward the west and then eventually toward the northwest, and that's going to be as over the next couple of days that shift's going to occur. 925, again, light winds toward the surface. A lot of the stronger low-level winds are occurring mainly well to the south and southeast of the cyclone center. All right, we talked about shear. Here's our shear analysis and tendencies. Very, very light, less than 10 basically throughout the majority of the South China Sea. Do see at least the near-term tendency is some increasing shear near northern Vietnam, but I'm not expecting that to be in effect, at least in the near-term forecast. As we saw earlier, some of those showers are affecting parts of the Philippines, especially in Luzon. So taking a look at the Manila current conditions, this is at 9:09 Zulu time. Temperatures was 26 degrees with west-southwesterly winds at 13 knots. Some moderate rain showers are restricting our visibility down to 8 kilometers, and our pressure is down to 1,004 hectopascal. That's actually rising now that the system is moving away. Taking a look at the terminal forecast there from Ninoy Aquino International. Again, keeping pretty much this 8 kilometers in showers, some breezy conditions, but none too crazy. Some isolated thunderstorms over the next couple hours, and then once we get into the nighttime, just some rain to carry us through tomorrow morning. That concludes our update on Tropical Storm Jebi. Of course, get this and other information over the Western Pacific at westernpacificweather.com, or follow along on Twitter and Facebook. Of course, you can join in on the global tropical discussion at storm2k.org, and you can follow me on Twitter at Senior Pepper to get the latest updates between videos. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great day and take care.